You want me to start?
Taking a few just because there's a risk that I'll start coughing and not be able to stop.
You're okay, just like this, but it looks like that's.
Yeah, it is.
I have one here, so I'm good on that.
Okay.
But I appreciate.
Well,
I'll
just
I'll
stop.
come to you if you get
Stop
affected
mine.
really good.
So here's some throat lozenges.
Here's a bag of them.
Yeah, this time of year, you
Everybody.
gotta keep them every year.
Here's a menthol sugar
I
free.
have options.
Yes, you have options.
Sometimes you don't want to know.
Water. I know you don't want to know what's in here sometimes.
Yeah. No.
Thank
But
you.
like, that's what we're doing today. Listen,
Give us a minute. We're almost ready. All right. Wait, I gotta call the meeting to order. Notice is hereby given pursuant to the Texas Open Meetings Act, Government Code, Chapter 551, that the city of Smithville will conduct a planning and zoning meeting on January 6th, 2026 at 5 p.m. in the council chambers located at 317 Main Street, Smithville, Texas. I call the meeting to order at 5:03. The first item is discussion and action on the approval of minutes from December 2nd, 2025. Has everybody had a chance to read the minutes? Sure.
And do we want to introduce?
And I do want to introduce my fellow commissioners from the my right, your left.
Lee Kilgore.
And soon to be introduced is,
Brian Wells.
I'm Caroline Noya.
Nancy Catherman.
And Philip Slaughter.
And Happy New Year, everybody. And we would like to welcome Brian Wells as our newest commissioner. And he will now be sworn in.
Down here.
Sure.
Do you want a microphone?
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Should I use this?
Yeah. So we have the pre-oath and then we also have the oath. So I can read it to you if you want to raise your right hand. And you ready? Okay. Do you, Brian Wells, solemnly swear or affirm that you have not directly or indirectly been paid, offered, promised to pay, contributed, or promised to contribute any money or thing of value, or promised any public office or employment for the giving or withholding of a vote at the election at which I was elected, or you elected, I'm sorry, or as a ward to secure your appointment or confirmation
That was real nice. Hotel.
King's Day, 12th night, start of the carnival season.
Interesting.
Chill game.
Nope, you're gonna sign here. I'm gonna notarize, but you just sign there. Hold on, if I can fit my name on there. There we go. All right. Awesome. Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard, Brian. Okay, now, discussion and action on approval of the meeting minutes from December 2nd. Has everyone had a chance to read those minutes? And if so, do I have a motion? Or
I move to approve the minutes as written.
do I have a second?
Oh.
Thank you. All in favor? Say aye. Aye. Lee moved, Philip second.
You passed me. Hold on. And now you can go. Now.
Okay, now we're cooking with gas here. Discussion and action on the appointment of the planning and zoning chair. I would like to make a motion for Lee Kilgore to be the chair.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had.
Do I have a second
For what was?
for Lee Kilgore to be the chair?
She's saying, no, I'd like to,
Amend the motion?
I would like to. Decline the motion.
It doesn't have a second.
It doesn't have a
Second,
second.
it fails.
Oh,
Sorry. I would like to, I would like to nominate Carolyn Noya. She's been our chairman for the last
Off and on.
2 terms. And I think she has done a wonderful job. And I'd like to see her continue. And
Thank you.
I think Lee's wonderful too. But Lee's a very detailed person. Not fit for chairman. At anyways, that would be that's how I would like to amend that. I second the
All in favor?
motion. Aye.
Motion.
However, could I ask a question? Sorry, should have asked it before we voted. My understanding is to fulfill
The rest of the term,
rest of
Garrett's term.
Garrett Gutierrez's term, which ends in May of 2026. That is the recommendation that I would make for Caroline Noya being chair. If that is acceptable.
Do you want it as, is a motion?
Yes.
It's the amended motion. Yeah. 26. Do it again.
Excellent. Thank you. All right.
Okay, all right. Thank you. So we need discussion and action on the appointment of a planning and zoning vice chair. Lee, would you like to be vice chair? I will make the motion to have Lee as my vice chair. For me, Lee Kilgore is my vice chair.
That would be a good, I second.
All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you very much. All right, we will now commence with our public workshop on the orientation and overview of the Planning and Zoning Commission to be presented by City Manager Jeremy Frazier.
Thank you very much for the opportunity and congratulations, Mr. Wells. I'm just going to go through this orientation as it's essentially laid out in the document. Starting off with the planning and zoning basics. And obviously congratulations for our chair and vice chair as well. So starting off, planning and zoning basics. This is more for the community than it is for you all because you're all doing this on a regular basis. But for the community, the board consists of a 5-member board, decision-making board appointed by the city manager with council approval. Most recently, at our last meeting, we did receive some outstanding candidates to be appointed to various boards. Mr. Wells stood out as having a skill set that we felt would be very beneficial to planning and zoning. And I did recommend him to the council, and the council did approve. The planning and zoning members essentially serve 2-year terms concurrent with the term of office of the elected mayor. They shall serve without compensation. The chair and vice chair are elected from membership, which is essentially what we just did. The frequency of the meetings is every Tuesday or every first Tuesday, if requests submitted. The purpose of the Planning and Zoning Board is to review and recommend approval or denial of variance, zone changes, special permits, and/or plat to the city council. Basics continued responsibilities, and I'm assuming, Mr. Wells, that you've already completed the online portion of the training as well. So one of the responsibilities is to complete that training. It's a P&Z training that's through the Open Meetings Act, which is 1 hour online, and also a P&Z orientation, which is what we're doing now essentially. You must understand and follow the ordinances, which are the zoning and subdivision ordinances, P&Z protocol and process, and you are required to attend at least 75% of all P&Z meetings. Citizens request prior to voting at P&Z, so research is required, which obviously you would do prior to the meetings. Ensure that representation at city council meetings, and support other tasks as assigned or requested. One of the big things that the P&Z board has the ability to do is to amend or allow a variance to, excuse me, while I turn that off, to setbacks in the SF1 and SF2, excuse me, zones. Setbacks for the front for an SF1, for example, would be 25 feet from the front, 20 feet from the rear, 7.5 from the side, and 15 feet from the corner. And all setbacks are from the property owner's property lines. If a corner lot, then it's greater than 25 feet behind the front property line, then the setback goes to 7.5. So that's why it's 7.5 if you're a corner. Lot coverage, no existing building can be more than 40% of the lot coverage. Accessory buildings may not cover more than 20% of the rear lot. Next, we have the plat review and approval process. And luckily for anyone who's serving on your board, it's already laid out very well. And it's essentially just a flow chart to go through. The citizen or a developer, in some cases, will submit P&Z application for plat approval. If it's a minor plat or a replat, you would essentially go to a major plat, or you would go through staff review. If you would help identify the category and reason for the P&Z application, which you would ultimately make a decision, and you would share that decision with the council at the council meeting. If you were to reject the plat, they would have to resubmit that, and staff would review it, administration would review it, and there was a 30-day window, I believe, before it can be either automatically approved within 30 days if no action is taken. You are responsible for scheduling the P&Z meeting and the public hearing. You have to notify all the property owners within 200 feet. It does have to be published in the newspaper, a local newspaper. We would then hold a P&Z meeting and a public hearing, and if the plat were approved, you would submit that to council for approval. If it is not approved, then you would issue a written order identifying the reasons for denial. And then the developer would either have to resubmit and go through that process again, or again, if it's approved, you would submit that to council at the next council meeting. As far as the preliminary plat, the details of the preliminary plat can be found in Chapter 10 of the subdivision ordinance, Article 2, Section 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3. Per subdivision ordinance, Article 3, which contains your minimum design standards, essentially sections 1 through 7. For a final plat, per Chapter 10 of subdivision ordinance, Article 2, Section 3 through 12, outlines essentially the city's rules and regulations as it pertains to planning and zoning.
And Brian, just to interject real quick, the big difference between a minor plat and the 5 or less, right? They don't have to go through all this. They can do it on all one meeting. A major plat, which is going to have more than 5, this is where the checklist pertains to, is to the bigger ones. So just to kind of clear that up real quick.
Thank you. All right, as far as the plat process, continuing that discussion, administrative approval is required, preliminary plat approval, construction plan review and approval, construction permit is issued, construction is completed, and then the final plat is approved. That's essentially the process. It can either be, this can pertain to a voluntary annexation, 380 agreement, or performance-based incentives. And it can be a 1 to 2 year process from concept to breaking ground. So it's usually not, it's very well thought out. We have design standards because we want to build the community a certain way, obviously. And these rules, it make sure that we adhere to that. And that's your purpose in doing that as well. So criteria for approving and denying a variance. If you are to approve a motion, you would simply say, I move to approve a variance to a certain address, and or the rule particularly that you're trying to approve a variance to. For example, reducing the side yard setback to 10 feet with the following findings. The variance cannot be contrary to public interest. There are special conditions affecting the applicant's property. And because of the special conditions, literal enforcement of the ordinance would result in unnecessary hardship. And the variance observes the spirit of the ordinance, and substantial justice is done by granting the variance. Those are the grounds under which you would approve a variance. If you were to deny a variance, you would simply make a motion which would go, I move to deny the requested variance to property X, for example, reducing the side yard setback to 10 feet with the following findings. The variance will be contrary to the public interest. There are no special conditions affecting the applicant's property. And even with the special conditions, literal enforcement of the ordinance does not result in an unnecessary hardship. Substantial justice also would not be done by granting the variance. And so under those conditions, you would deny a motion.
Going to be that language to use that we just went over at the front of your thing. So
Correct.
it's been updated a little bit since this slideshow. So
In terms of in terms of planning and zoning overview, you would review material from today's overview and complete the online training, which you have done. You would attend the P&Z workshops and P&Z meetings as required. That's where that 75% rule, I believe, comes from. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yep. And for further information, these documents, if you are the type of person who likes to study in the quiet, relaxed environment known as home, hopefully, these are available on our website. That is the link to that document there. And for public knowledge, the dates of the Planning and Zoning Council meetings are available to everyone, if anyone would be interested in attending. That's it. Now, we do have, luckily for us, and we have an amazing asset in the form of Jill, and all of you, I'm sure, know her well. She has done an immense amount of work, along with it, and I'd be, remiss to say Robert Tamble has done a lot of work with developing this latest comprehensive plan that we have. It is, at last discussion at least, 90 to 95% complete. When that document is complete, it'll be a guide for the community moving forward in every way that you can imagine. It is a very useful document if we actually use it. Otherwise, it is a lot of paper and a lot of information. So if you have not had an opportunity to check that out, I would strongly encourage you to go onto our website and look at the comprehensive plan. And Jill Struby, am I saying that correctly? Okay. Dr. Jill, if you want to be formal. She is able and at your disposal if you have any questions whatsoever. Again, she's very knowledgeable. This is kind of her baby, so to speak. And I would strongly encourage you to interact with Jill as much as possible if you have questions. I actually ask her questions myself because she knows more about this than almost anyone. So that's kind of a basic brief overview. I know that we're not going to touch on everything that you can touch on because over time you obviously absorb this information and there's no better way to learn than to do. So I know that you'll be successful. Congratulations again. And we are very excited that you've decided to step into this public service role. And we actually may use you for other purposes if you stick around long enough. So thank you again. I don't have any further information to go over based on this document. I don't know if you have any questions, Mr. Wells, or if the rest of the Planning and Zoning Board have any questions. None that I could answer probably, but I'm sure that we could find an
Tracy's an
answer.
asset is for us as well, huge asset. So
And thank you for Tracy. She does a wonderful job as well.
she does, she does, she does.
You're not supposed to say I know.
That's for the minutes, yes.
So any further questions? If no further questions, I'll turn the microphone back over to our chair.
No, I think we've got a good grip on that. Brian, I think you can call any of us if you have any questions. Does he have all of our phone numbers? Do you have a new sheet?
I forward all that to him, and if for some reason we didn't, I can make sure it gets to him, but I'm pretty sure it got sent to him.
Okay. That's all I have. Does anybody have anything now? Nancy?
May I say something?
Yes, please.
I'm probably the longest serving member on planning and zoning. And as Carolyn knows, and she can tell you, and she'll probably put you through what I put her through. There are some things that are not outlined that one has to do. And that is, number one, read, get to know your ordinance. Also, get to know what you're going to be undertaking to rule on that particular mountain. And this is something that I think is very important, is go buy the property. Go buy the property. You don't have to go knock on the door. If they happen to be there and come out, you can just say what you're doing there, and that's all. That's very important. And I think it puts everything in perspective when you come and sit down in here, when you actually have a picture and you've walked whatever property it is. Did I teach you anything else?
Drive around the city because the city lines, the boundaries are not always where you think they are. So drive around.
I think you will enjoy the work that we all do, although sometimes it can be a bit frustrating. But this is a lovely community. I'm not a native, but I've lived here over 50 years. And I know you're new to the community. And is this your wife in the back?
Mhm.
Well, welcome.
Please introduce.
Be patient. Just a tip.
Thank you for
Any questions?
allowing him to do this as well. I know the permission started back there and it kind of gravitated this way.
So Nancy, thank you very much for that advice. I do appreciate it. And also appreciate each of the four of you that have been serving on this committee. I know it's not the easiest one to work on some. I've been to some of your meetings. I realize, the decisions you have to make. So I appreciate each of the the work that y'all done so far. And Jeremy, I'm really looking forward to working with you. We're glad to have you on board. So, and then lastly, just thank you for, welcoming me to this board. Really appreciate it.
Glad to have you. Philip, did you have anything you wanted to say? Okay.
And before you adjourn, I would like to let y'all know there is an application submitted, so we will have a February 3rd, 2026
There you go.
P and Z meeting.
Okay, okay. Thank
What
you
is it
very much.
for?
Yeah. Thank you very much. With no further business, meeting adjourned at this time, 5:26. Oh, thank you very much.